All right, today we're cracking open the Strategist's Toolkit. We're going to master two of the most powerful frameworks out there, SWOT and PESTLE. So if you're looking to make smarter, sharper decisions, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get to it. You know, every leader, every single person trying to build something great faces this exact question. How do you make those huge calls when you can't see everything? It feels like you're trying to navigate through a thick fog, right? You've got competitors, the market's always shifting, not to mention your own internal challenges. It can honestly feel like you're walking blind. But what if you didn't have to? What if you had a way to clear that fog? Imagine you had two special lenses. One gives you this super sharp, up-close view of everything going on inside your own organization. And the other, it's like a wide-angle lens, giving you the full panoramic view of the entire world you're operating in. So let's start with that first lens, the close-up. This is your go-to tool for getting a really detailed, crystal-clear picture of your immediate situation. And that, of course, is your SWOT analysis. You've probably heard of SWOT. It stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. Its whole purpose is to create a complete, honest snapshot of your current strategic position. It basically just answers that fundamental question. Okay, where are we right now? And here it is. The real beauty of SWOT is just how simple and elegant it is. It's this 2x2 grid that forces you to look at things from two different angles. What's happening inside versus outside, and what's positive versus what's negative. It makes sure you're not just patting yourself on the back, but also looking your weaknesses right in the eye. And this right here is probably the most crucial thing to get about SWOT. The internal stuff, your strengths and weaknesses, those are things you can actually control. You know, your team's amazing skills, your brand's reputation, that piece of tech you own. But the external stuff, the opportunities and threats, you can't control those at all. They're just out there in the world, and you absolutely have to react to them. Think new competitors popping up, or a big shift in the economy. Okay, so that's our close-up view. We're seeing ourselves clearly. Now it's time to switch lenses. Let's zoom all the way out and scan that entire horizon with our wide-angle view. Let's talk about PESTLE. So while SWOT is all about you, PESTLE is all about the big, big picture. It's a framework for scanning the whole environment. We're talking the major currents and winds that affect everyone in your industry, not just your company. It's how you spot those giant waves coming long before they actually hit the shore. And PESTLE is another acronym, this time for 6 key areas: political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental. So you're looking at, well, everything. From new government regulations and economic cycles to cultural trends and brand new technologies. The point isn't just to make a long list, it's to really understand the massive forces that are shaping your entire world. Okay, so we've got our close-up lens, SWOT, and our wide-angle lens, PESTLE. But here is where the magic really happens. The real power comes when you stop using them separately and you start using them together. That's how you bring your strategy into perfect, sharp focus. And this is the aha moment. It's this simple. PESTLE gives you the context, the big picture. Then SWOT takes that big picture and helps you figure out what it means specifically for you. One framework literally feeds the other. PESTLE spots the wave, and SWOT tells you if you've got the surfboard to ride it, or if you need to get out of the water. Let's make this real with an example. So you're doing your PESTLE analysis, right? And under L for legal, you spot a huge trend. Privacy regulations are getting way, way tighter. Now, that's not just a random fact. It's a strategic signal. So what do? You immediately turn to your SWOT. That one trend populates 2 different boxes. It's a threat, no doubt. You're looking at compliance costs, legal risks, but, and this is the cool part, it could also be a massive opportunity. What if you made your product the most trusted, most privacy-focused option out there? See how that works? A PESTLE finding just became a core part of your SWOT. But look, having this perfectly clear view isn't just some intellectual exercise. This whole process is designed to do one thing: help you figure out what to do next. It's about bridging that gap between having an insight and actually taking action. This leads us to something called the TOES matrix. It's basically SWOT, but flipped around to be action-oriented. Instead of just listing things, you're actively matching them up to create real strategies. So you ask questions like, how can we use our strengths to go after these opportunities? Or how can we use those same strengths to protect ourselves from these threats? It turns your analysis into an actual concrete game plan. And this is so important to remember. It's a classic mistake. People create these huge, sprawling laundry lists for their SWOT. But the value isn't in the list itself, it's in the insights you get from it. Seriously, having 3 really well understood threats is way more valuable than having a list of 20 that you haven't really thought about. So, when you put it all together, when you use both of these lenses, the close up and the wide angle, you achieve something called strategic positioning. And that's really the holy grail, isn't it? It's the ability to perfectly align what you're good at, what you can do, with what's actually happening out there in the world. You stop just reacting to things and you start proactively building your own future.
So I'll just leave you with this to chew on. What big shift is maybe happening out there on the horizon right now that you might be missing? What critical threat could totally blindside your organization, not because it's invisible, but simply because your strategic lenses are a little bit out of focus?